Going to be using the Google Analytics method for setting up e-commerce tracking. Now, the goal import, which I'm going to show you here in just a second, is my most recommended method for how to do e-commerce tracking. So in order to do this, you must have e-commerce tracking enabled in your Google Analytics account. So everything is going to work through Google Analytics. So if you don't have that set up, I'm going to go through that in just a second. You also must have Google Analytics obviously installed on your e-commerce store or wherever you have the actual transaction taking place, whether it's a third-party shopping cart or you have like Shopify or BigCommerce. Wherever the sales are actually taking place, Google Analytics must be installed. So let's just walk through these different steps of how to set this up, and we'll just go through it in detail so that it's very clear how to make sure you have this all properly set up. So like I said, first step is to make sure you have Google Analytics installed on your e-commerce site. And most popular e-commerce platforms like Shopify have an easy way to paste the Google Analytics tracking code right into the store settings in your admin dashboard. So this is the most common scenario. It'll look something like this. This is actually a screenshot from the Shopify admin settings, where it just allows you to go into your Google Analytics account, copy and paste the tracking code snippet, and paste it right in here, and you're done. And so we aren't going to be covering Google Analytics as a whole in depth or anything in this course. We'll just be touching on it here and there because of the integrations that it has with Google AdWords. But we will be doing a Google Analytics separate course at a later time. But right now, you will need to know some basic, just fundamentals of how to use a Google Analytics account, probably to be able to understand most of what we're going through here. So that's what you'll need to do first, is make sure that that is set up on your e-commerce site. Once it's set up on your e-commerce site, so you'll be in your Google Analytics account, you'll have your account set up, it'll be installed on your site. Next, you need to go in and actually enable the e-commerce tracking in Google Analytics. So this part happens in Google Analytics. So you'll notice that this is happening at the view level. So you have an account with Google Analytics. That's the top level that you can be at. That's associated with your email address. Within your account, you can have multiple properties. So you would select the property for your specific website where you're wanting to enable e-commerce tracking. You might just have the one. And then you'll select a view. Most commonly, you'll have all website data. Unless you've created multiple views, then you'll need to apply it at the view level. So if you need it set up on all views, you'll have to do this for each view. So under the view, you'll see a setting down there called e-commerce settings. So once you click on that, then I want you to click on enable e-commerce status and just toggle that to on. So that's really it. I mean, it's very, very basic. And at that point, once you toggle that on, your basic setup is complete. Now, I usually also go ahead and enable the enhanced e-commerce tracking. So that's the next step. You can turn that on as well. And if you do that, then you'll be able to pull in a little bit more detailed data on your user. So I usually turn that on as well. But if you turn that on, then in platforms like Shopify, there is a checkbox or some kind of setting usually that you'll need to tell it that you do have that enhanced e-commerce tracking, and just tell it that you have that on, and then Shopify and Analytics will pass that information back and forth.